Hello friends, and welcome to part 2. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, definitely go back and watch that first. We covered what creatine is, how it acts as an energy buffer, and all the cognitive and mental health benefits. The link is in the description. In today's video, we're getting into the physical benefits: muscle preservation, inflammation reduction, bone health, and longevity. Plus, I'm going to give you the complete guide on how to actually take creatine, including dosing, timing, and important safety considerations. This is where it gets really practical, so let's dive in. Let's talk about something that affects everyone as we age, but hits particularly hard when you have an autoimmune disease: muscle loss. Sarcopenia. That's the age-related loss of muscle mass and function, typically starts in our 30s and accelerates as we get older. But here's the kicker: chronic inflammation, like what we see in autoimmune diseases, can accelerate this process significantly. And if you've ever been on corticosteroids, Prednisone, methylprednisone, or any of those medications, you know that they can be lifesavers for managing flares, but they come with a cost. One of the most significant side effects is muscle wasting. Steroids literally break down muscle tissue. This is where creatine becomes particularly valuable. Research suggests that creatine may help counter steroid-induced muscle wasting by supporting the muscle's energy system and potentially promoting protein synthesis. Creatine can help preserve muscle tissue even when you're on medications that typically cause muscle loss. Creatine has been extensively studied for its ability to help preserve and build muscle mass, especially when combined with resistance training. Even light resistance work combined with creatine can help maintain muscle tissue that might otherwise be lost. And this isn't just about looking strong or being able to lift heavy things. Though those are nice benefits, muscle mass is metabolically active tissue. It helps regulate blood sugar, supports hormone balance, maintains metabolic rate, and produces those myokines we talked about in part 1 that support brain health. Now, bone density, this is crucial, especially for those of us who might be on corticosteroids or other medications that can affect bone health. While creatine isn't a magic bullet for bone density, there's emerging evidence that it may have beneficial effects, particularly when combined with resistance exercise. The mechanism seems to be indirect. By improving muscle strength and function, creatine may reduce fall risk and improve mechanical loading on bones that help maintain bone density. Some studies have also suggested direct effects on bone-forming cells, though we need more research here. Here's where things get really relevant for autoimmune warriors: creatine's effects on inflammation. Several studies have indicated that creatine may have anti-inflammatory properties. It appears to reduce markers like C-reactive protein, TNF-alpha, and IL-6. These are inflammatory cytokines that are often elevated in autoimmune conditions. One proposed mechanism is that by improving cellular energy status, creatine helps cells manage stress better and reduce production of inflammatory signals. When your cells aren't in constant energy crisis mode, they're less likely to trigger inflammatory cascades. There's another mechanism at play here too: cellular hydration. Creatine draws water into your muscle cells, which isn't just about making muscles look fuller. Proper cellular hydration improves tissue resilience. It helps cells function better, communicate better, and handle stress more effectively. Think of it like this: a well-hydrated cell is like a grape, plump, resilient, functional. A dehydrated cell is like a raisin, shriveled and struggling. By supporting cellular hydration, creatine helps your tissues be more resilient to the daily stresses they face, including inflammatory stress. Now, I want to be clear: creatine is not a replacement for your prescribed medications or disease-modifying treatments. But as a supportive supplement, it may help modulate some of the inflammatory burden your body is dealing with. Let's zoom out and talk about the big picture: longevity and healthy aging. Living with an autoimmune disease can sometimes feel like you're aging faster than your peers. And unfortunately, there's some truth to that. Chronic inflammation is associated with accelerated aging at the cellular level. But there's some good news. The interventions that support healthy aging, maintaining muscle mass, supporting mitochondrial function, reducing inflammation, preserving cognitive function, these are exactly what creatine helps with. Research is beginning to show that creatine supplementation may support health span. That's the number of years you live in good health, not just total years lived. By maintaining muscle mass, supporting brain health, and potentially reducing inflammation, creatine may help you stay functional and independent longer. One study in older adults found that those who took creatine while doing resistance training not only gained more muscle and strength than exercise-only group, but they also showed improvements in functional tasks of daily living, things like getting up from a chair, carrying groceries, or climbing stairs. For someone managing an autoimmune condition, maintaining that functional independence is absolutely crucial to quality of life. Let's talk about another benefit that's particularly relevant if you've been on corticosteroids and have concerns about blood sugar and metabolic health. Some research suggests that creatine may help support glucose metabolism. This means it may improve how your body handles blood sugar and potentially enhance insulin sensitivity. Here's why this matters for autoimmune warriors. Many autoimmune medications, particularly corticosteroids, can increase blood sugar levels and even lead to steroid-induced diabetes in some cases. Additionally, chronic inflammation itself can contribute to insulin resistance. The mechanisms seem to be related to creatine's effects on muscle tissue. Remember, muscle is metabolically active and plays a major role in glucose disposal, meaning when you eat carbohydrates, healthy muscle tissue helps pull that glucose out of your bloodstream and use it for energy and storage. By supporting muscle mass and function, creatine may indirectly support better blood sugar control. Some studies have also suggested more direct effects on glucose transporters in cells, but we need more research to fully understand these mechanisms. If you're someone who's been told you're pre-diabetic, or if you're struggling with blood sugar issues on steroids, this is another reason to have a conversation with your healthcare provider about whether creatine might be appropriate for you. All right, let's get to what we've been waiting for, the practical how-to guide. If you're thinking about trying creatine, how much should you take? The most researched and recommended form is creatine monohydrate. It's effective, affordable, and has decades of safety data behind it. Most research supports taking 3 to 5 grams per day. For most people, 5 grams daily is the sweet spot. That's about 1 teaspoon of creatine monohydrate powder. Some people do a loading phase where they take 20 grams per day, split into 4 doses of 5 grams for 5 to 7 days. Then drops down to the maintenance dose of 3 to 5 grams daily. The loading phase saturates the muscles faster, but it's not necessary. You'll get to the same place with consistent daily dosing. It just takes about 3 to 4 weeks instead of the 1 week. Now, as far as what I do personally, I usually take 4 to 5 grams twice a day. This seems to be the sweet spot for me. I tried taking more, but then I felt worse. But I like the cognitive benefits I get with taking that second dose of the day. So timing. The good news, timing doesn't really matter as much as consistency. Take it whenever it fits into your routine, with breakfast, post-workout, whenever you'll remember to take it daily. Stay hydrated. Creatine pulls water into the muscle cells, so make sure you're drinking plenty of water throughout the day. Aim for at least 8 to 10 glasses of more if it's hot or if you're active. Start slowly. If you have a sensitive system, and many of us with autoimmune conditions do, you might want to start with 3 grams daily instead of jumping straight into 5, or doing the loading phase. You can always increase after a week or 2 if you're tolerating it well. Also, don't take it with coffee. If you take it with coffee, that will negate the effects of creatine. Just make sure you separate the timing by about 30 minutes. Talk to your healthcare provider, especially if you're on immunosuppressive medications or have kidney concerns. Creatine is generally very safe, but it's always wise to loop your medical team in. Give it time. You might notice some benefits with a couple of weeks, but the full effects often take 4 to 8 weeks of consistent use. Be patient with the process. Quality matters. Look for creatine monohydrate that's been third-party tested. Brands with NSF certified for sport or informed choice certifications have been tested for purity, and banned substances. You want a product that's just creatine monohydrate, no unnecessary fillers or additives. What about side effects? The most common side effect is slight weight gain from water retention in the muscles, typically 1 to 3 pounds. This is actually part of how it works and isn't fat gain. Some people experience mild digestive upset, which usually resolves by taking it with food or splitting the dose. The myth about kidney damage has been thoroughly debunked in healthy individuals, but if you have a pre-existing kidney issue, definitely consult your doctor first. Now, before we wrap up, we need to talk about when creatine may not be appropriate. While creatine is one of the most studied and safest supplements available, it's not right for everyone. Creatine may not be appropriate if you have advanced kidney disease. If you have chronic kidney disease, especially stage 3 or higher, you should not take creatine without explicit approval from your nephrologist. While creatine doesn't cause kidney damage in healthy individuals, that myth has been thoroughly debunked. It does require your kidneys to process it, and compromised kidneys may struggle with this. Your doctor will likely monitor something called creatinine, which is a different form of creatine. I know, confusing. Creatine supplementation can slightly elevate serum creatinine levels, which is a marker doctors use to assess kidney function. This can make it harder to accurately monitor kidney health, which is why it's so important to work with your doctor if you have any kidney concerns. Number 2, if you have a rare creatine transport disorders. These are genetic conditions where the body can't properly transport or synthesize creatine. They're quite rare, but if you've been diagnosed with one of these conditions, creatine supplementation won't help and may potentially cause issues. 3, you're not tolerating it well. Some people experience digestive upset, cramping, or other uncomfortable symptoms with creatine. If you've tried starting slowly, taking it with food, and staying well hydrated, but you're still not tolerating it, listen to your body. Not every supplement works for every person, and that's okay. And remember, I can't stress this enough, creatine is not a cure for autoimmune disease. It's a supportive supplement that may help with some of the challenges that come with autoimmune conditions, but it doesn't replace your disease-modifying medications. It doesn't reverse autoimmunity, and it does not substitute for comprehensive medical care. Think of it as one tool in your toolbox, a potentially helpful one, but still just one piece of a much larger puzzle that includes proper medical treatments, good nutrition, adequate sleep, stress management, appropriate movement, and social support. Friends, we've covered a lot in these 2 videos, from energy and brain health in part 1 to muscle preservation, inflammation, longevity, and practical dosing in part 2. Living with an autoimmune disease is a journey. Some days are harder than others, and while creatine isn't a miracle cure, the research is compelling. It's one of the most studied supplements in existence, with a strong safety profile and multiple potential benefits that align beautifully with the challenges we face with autoimmune disease. Whether in supporting your energy levels, helping preserve muscle mass, especially if you're on steroids, supporting your cognitive function, potentially helping with mood, or helping to modulate inflammation, creatine offers a lot of potential support. My encouragement to you is this: have a conversation with your healthcare provider. Bring them this information. Ask if creatine might be appropriate for your specific situation. If they give you the green light, consider giving creatine a fair trial, at least 8 to 12 weeks of consistent use at 3 to 5 grams daily. Track how you feel. Notice if your energy improves, if your brain fog lifts a bit, if your workouts feel better, if your mood shifts. Pay attention to your body's feedback. It will tell you if this is working for you. And remember, you're not alone in this journey. We're a community of people figuring this out together, supporting each other and sharing what works. If you found this two-part series helpful, please give both videos a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Drop a comment below and let me know, are you going to try creatine? Until next time, take care of yourself, be patient with your body, and keep advocating for your health. I'll see you in the next video.